something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning. The rats keep me up on the ocean. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture.
You got a picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headline.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Toronto Huskies and the San Antonio Marshalls. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Toronto Huskies and the San Antonio Marshalls. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this San Antonio team as they enter play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Illegal touching, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It was Eric Reed in on the stop. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He goes left side, and he has dime. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 53 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to him early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Here we go now. Green.
And they'll go on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Big completion there on third and short. Keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. First and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my
and it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and his guys have taken a first quarter lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's got it. This is Ware. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Let's go! Green,
now back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll set up to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
They had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, as he can really impact this offense. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now back out comes the offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
He'll drop to throw. That's caught by Ware. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? They'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This will be their first trip to the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And to cap it off, a touchdown run of 20 yards. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And that's going to be incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Let's go!
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. On the stop, Breland Speaks.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's San Antonio football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
They bring their punter out there now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Take it at the 37. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense ready to head back out there. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game now. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here we go. Green, 30.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Not able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's Barrett on play action. Rolling to his right. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Off the bootleg, Barrett. And he fires one, but incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Fielded at about the 28. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And now back out comes the offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively. And it'll be 4th down. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And here now the offense heading back out there. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. And they'll go on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Barrett. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available
comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
And they'll run it here. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Let's go. Green.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Let's go. Boom.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The offense on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7. Back to throw. And he's got a man. It's catch. Good for 14 there and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This quarterback now, he's hit on just 5 of 15 throws, a poor percentage, but it's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green 19.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to the booth right after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown of the new season. And his guys are able to strike for 6. So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Nothing much more rewarding than that for a guy catching it.
Not at all. And with what we just saw there, that type of a one-handed catch, what's next? Maybe they go up and almost Velcro it with their jersey in the ball. That's about all that's left. That play, simply spectacular.
So a one-handed grab in the end zone, not much more impressive than that. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. So that drive in total 8 plays. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Barrett, and that'll be incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Set. 3-19.
On 3rd down, Barrett, and that's incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus on the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. And they'll send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that's off the mark, incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that was a constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Here we go. Green 30.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. A final shot before break. Barrett. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Rams who are out in front in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have the lead, now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw here. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ward. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here we go now.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Ward. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
They'll set up a throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation.
And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Point after here coming up. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Now let's go. Blue line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw Barrett. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. So they bring out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now back to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And they'll go on the ground. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And they'll run it here. And he's got the 1st down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
To throw here.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he loses the football a second time.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue, landed.
They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive.
Here we go now.
Movement there on the offensive line. A little quick and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
Not what you wanted there, 3rd and 2.
And this is something you've worked on in practice from the time you were in training camp, yet you still create your own mistakes.
They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This will be taken in at the 1. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Back to the air on 2nd down. Barrett. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Boom,
to throw on 3rd down. Barrett. And that will be incomplete as well.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
And on now is the punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And you think he personally is evaluating his order? He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2. Alert for anything out there. Watching for trouble on the road. And making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
He'll drop to throw.
Green, 39.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in San Antonio as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
All right, here we go.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
All right, here we go. Blue, line it.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be well short of a first down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on here to punt it away. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time? Hopefully with a chance to win.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Set. Green, 39.
Working out of the gun, it's Barrett. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Barrett. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, here's Barrett. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Here we go now.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, Barrett. And he fends him off. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To throw again, Barrett. And this is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
False start, offense.
So 3rd down becomes even harder. Now it's going to go back 5 to 3rd and 15. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Here's Barrett looking to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So now on 4th down, Sean Payton's going to turn it over to the field goal unit. This from 44 yards away. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still got to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Holding, offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Here's Michael Pilardi now. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken around the 12. So a change of possession here on the punt. And now back out comes the offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's McDonald.
Illegal touching, offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Barrett now on second down. He's got it. This is Ware. And he'll get it out near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's third down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun. Barrett. And he finds McDonald. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Barrett looks to throw on first. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan, and you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help with pass protection, so you have to have a counter to that because you know they're probably going to bring pressure when they see an empty backfield, so you get rid of the ball quickly. Quick drop, ball's out of the quarterback's hands, keeps it from getting hit, and they get a completion.
A bullet throw, but incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Fighting through, and he's got space. There he goes, left side. Touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. Well, he just bumped up his personal stats with the second score, but they still have some ground to make up.
Not terrific for today because of what you just said. They're still down on the scoreboard. But later in the year, when he piles it all up and starts to think about contract time, that's a pretty good deal for him. And I know darn well that you've got him in fantasy football, don't you?
I don't. You always think I just appreciate that you think I'm smart enough to have him in fantasy.
Well, you are.
Thanks. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Looking to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Now a play fake here on first down. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down.
Let's go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. That's caught by Ware. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. He'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They'll look to throw. This one complete right side to McDonald. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Throwing on third and long. Barrett. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on fourth down. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on second down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die fourth down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
But no reason for that from any wide receiver.
Oftentimes, you don't even hear the snap count, right? You just look inside, make sure the ball moves, then you take off. How he didn't do that is beyond me.
Throwing here, Barrett. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. On second down, Barrett. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Barrett. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip. Try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Toronto, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars.